My dad kept a second family hidden in our basement. Today I found out the horrifying reason why. I remember waking up some nights hearing screams, people begging for help, but I always thought this was normal. I understand how ridiculous that sounds, but it was all I'd ever known. I knew that every night my dad tended the leftovers from dinner with foil, got up without a word, and carried the plate to the basement. I'd listen from my room as he lumbered down the creaking steps, held my breath to hear the muffled mumblings of his greeting. I knew that every morning he'd make the trip downstairs to see his second family off before work, then kiss me on the top of my head and ruffle my hair as he walked out. I knew that my dad had a second family in the basement, and it seemed so normal that I thought everyone else did too. I'll never forget the first time I asked my mom about them. "Mommy, why can't I play with the people in the basement?" The silence felt like it could be heard for miles. "We don't talk about them," she rushed, chasing the hurried statement with a lengthy drag off her cigarette. "You don't need to play with the kids, but the kids need Daddy." She paused again, the haunting image of her at a standstill etching itself into my mind permanently. Finally, she muttered, "Daddy needs them too." That night, I heard my mom shrieking at my dad in their bedroom. I was surprised that they didn't know that I knew, more shocked, frightened even, to find that they didn't want me to know. Most of all, they didn't want me to tell anyone at school, anyone at all, really. After that night, everything was different. My dad only tended the leftovers after dinner, only brought the food downstairs after I'd gone to bed. He stopped visiting them in the mornings altogether. My mom started acting differently too. I'd always noticed that she was distant from my dad. I'd always noticed how she bristled under his touch, how she stole away to the other side of the room whenever he entered. But it got worse after that. As a kid, I felt deeply guilty. I felt like I'd ruined my parents' marriage. But I was just a kid, and I was curious. My mom meant to dissuade me from asking more questions, but she accidentally gave away something that made me even more curious. The downstairs family had kids. Following this discussion, the basement door was fitted with a sturdy lock. Even still, I needed to know there's something horribly dreadful about finding out that a second basement family is abnormal. Something more horrible still about not knowing who or why. By the time I was 7, I made up my mind to get to the bottom of it. To avoid getting in trouble, I could only investigate when 3 conditions were met. I was home from school, my dad was still at work, and my mom wasn't around to catch me. These circumstances rarely overlapped. But the first time I came home from school to find that my dad's car wasn't in the garage and my mom's endless movement had driven her to the point of exhaustion, I threw off my shoes and crept to the basement door, quiet in my sock feet. And then I knocked. It was a quiet knock for fear of waking my mom from her nap. But it was a knock nonetheless. It was more than just a knock too. It was an initiation, an invitation, a confrontation of my life's greatest and most terrifying mystery. I jumped when a gentle knock returned from the other side. It was almost immediate. Like the person on the other side had been waiting for me. The thought froze me in place for a moment, but I knew I didn't have time to waste. My mouth felt suddenly of sandpaper and chalk, but I leaned into the door to whisper, "Hi, hi." It was a little girl, her voice sweet yet timid, like testing the keys on a piano for the first time. I'm Ricky. What's your name?" A long pause. "Lila. My brother's is Isaac, but he doesn't talk so good, but he's still little. Mommy says he'll start talking when he's ready." "There's 3 of you down there?" She replied simply, as if the entire situation felt as wholly normal for her as it had for me, on the opposite side of the basement door. "Daddy comes to visit sometimes though, so I guess there's 4. My eyes widened as a flurry of